who was here on, what was it, last Wednesday or Thursday? And I told y'all I didn't pass the 1 hour glucose test at the maternity doctor, the OB, whatever. And then I ended up having to do the 3-year glucose test, okay? 3-year. Oh my goodness, not 3 years. It felt like 3 years sitting in that bitch, okay? But not 3 years. 3-hour glucose test. So I ended up having to go do the 3-hour glucose test. I went on Monday morning, which was yesterday in the morning. So I told the doctor, I was like, I feel like Saturday and Sunday, the baby wasn't moving as much as he usually do. And she was like, some days they're not going to move as much as they usually do. So like that's common, but you could like count kicks. Like it should be like, however many she said, like 10 kicks in an hour or in 2 hours or something like that. So you drink the sweet glucose juice. I drank it and then I sat there for an hour and I was like, I don't feel like that was like 10 kicks in an hour, honestly. And honestly, they say that the baby would move around from drinking that sweet juice anyway. So he did move a little bit, but it was not 10. So when I came back, I was in the little lab getting my blood drawn. She said, okay, Kia, so how many in the past hour? And then I was like, not 10. And she was like, I'm gonna let you go sit for this next hour and see how many kicks you get. And then I'm probably gonna have to send you for an ultrasound if the baby is not moving as much. So I'm like, ooh, so I'm shook at this point. So I went and I sat for another hour and then he was moving. So I'm like, okay, so he actually moving. So that's cool. So when I came back to do the last hour, she was like, yeah, go see the nurse down the hall because I already scheduled you to get an ultrasound. So she just jumped ahead and said, F it, just go get the ultrasound just to make sure. So I'm like, okay. Now, mind you, on Saturday and Sunday, which is the days where I said that the baby was not moving that much, Key Bay, he kept telling me, Kia, just chill. It's okay. He just chilling. Like, he's good. Like, you still feeling him a little bit. You still feel him sometime, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, yeah, you're right, but I just want to know all this stuff. So I ended up having to go get an ultrasound at 3:30 in the afternoon, which is late because I never go to get an ultrasound that late. So I'm like, it's like one thing being a mom and being nervous, but then when you a first time mom and you being nervous, like you just want to know. We get to the ultrasound place and we waiting, and then the lady came out. This is like an extra part of the story. The lady came out and she had the nerve to say, Jolly Princess? And I'm like, I didn't answer because they just like call people name out and you get up and you go. But that's not my name. So then she stood there, she waited, and then this girl had came out of the bathroom and the lady looked at her, she said, Jolly Princess? And then the girl was like, no. The girl was like, no. And I never seen that happen, first of all, at a doctor's office. Like, usually they call a name and then you just get up and go. So she's like, Jolly Princess? So then the girl's like, no. So then the lady, she just went back and then she came back out. It was another lady standing there. She was like, Jolly Princess? And the lady was like, yeah. And then I was like, damn, I never seen that happen at a doctor. So that was funny. And the name stood out to me. The name stood out to me. I don't know if that's a real name change, alias. I don't know what it was. But the doctor, well, the ultrasound tech, whoever she was, she asking all these people if that's their fucking name. And I'm like, I don't know who that is. And then the lady finally appeared. So that was just a little funny thing that happened yesterday. So it's two sides. It's like they got some text on this side, some on this side. So then right after that, the door opened on this side and the lady was like, Kia, she called my name. But I was like, okay. So we went back there and then she was like, so yeah, the nurse called and said that you weren't having much movement going on. So we just wanted to go ahead and check if everything is okay. So I keep saying like, I know it's just a baby. And like babies don't know. He don't know nothing. He just in there living his life. But I take it as my son have an attitude with me or something like that. because I laid down and the lady put the gel stuff on my stomach. And when she put the freaking, I don't know what it's called, like a monitor. What is it? Like the little ultrasound monitor thing? She put it on my stomach and my son had his back turned. And he never had his back turned. Like she put it on my stomach, you just see a little spine. And I'm like, excuse me? You can't even see his face. Like usually you'll see his face. He has fucking back turn, okay? And I'm like, oh, that's why he not moving. He got a little attitude or something. So the first thing, like you could see the heartbeat, like where the spine is. You could see it through there, like with the little monitor. So the heart rate is good. She checked the heart rate. She's like 143. That's perfect. So she's like, he really has his back turned right now. So she had to have me turn my body sideways so she can put the thing on my side to be able to see him. So she kept wiggling it on my stomach because, like, you know, they say if you like gently poke or wiggle your stomach, the baby sometimes respond. So she wiggling the little monitor piece on my stomach. And do you know, he had a nerve to just keep sitting there. He don't want to be fucking bothered. Don't wiggle that shit, bitch. Stop fucking touching me. She's shaking that shit. She's like, okay, let's just try. Let's see if we can get the baby to move. Shaking it. He moved his back a little bit, but he ain't turned around. He stayed right there. You just see his little spine. He just sitting there. So she made me turn on the other side. So on the other side, when I turned, she could see the front of his face. So she put the monitor right there and she was trying to shake it to see if like he'll move. So you just see his face and his hands like in the front. Like his hands like in the front of him. Not like this, but it's just like you could see his two arms in the front. And I was like, I bet you he'll move when I leave. Like now that you done shook him up, I bet you he gonna move. So then we laughed about it. So she paused the little thing and she shook it. And then when she pressed play on the screen again, he had a nerve to move his hands by his face and stay there. I said, wow. What is this attitude? Like, what is this? I'm going telling the doctor that I'm checking for you. And you in there saying, don't check for me. I'm good. Like, minding his fucking business. Okay? So, that shit only took like 5 or 10 minutes. Basically, we had to drive all the way downtown just to go see him in there saying, get the fuck out of my face, basically. Saying, leave me the fuck alone. Okay. And then when we was leaving, we was walking to the car. And mind y'all, I told y'all Saturday and Sunday when I said the baby wasn't really moving as much. Like he was moving, but not like he usually do. So Saturday and Sunday, like I said, Lakin kept telling me he's chilling. So why when we leaving, Lakin, like he talking to my stomach saying, yeah, I told your mom you was just chilling. She gonna make us come to this doctor bothering you and shit. I'm like, oh, now you picking side, like, y'all both at my neck? Y'all both got a problem with me? Like, it's enough that this little baby was giving me his ass to kiss. Soon as she put the ultrasound on the screen, I just see a goddamn spine with a little fluttering heartbeat. He don't want to be bothered. And then on top of that, I told her last time in my ultrasound, he was like in the breech position, but when they that small, they can move in any position. So the last time he was laying down, like basically his body was like this. Like head, stomach, booty at the bottom, and then legs all the way up like this, like folded. This time, he had his head down to the bottom of my stomach and his foot in my fucking ribs. You think this comfortable? And I told her it's crazy. When I turn on my left side, I get a pain on my ribs on my right side. So I'm like, that's probably what that is. So it's a long baby with an attitude living in my stomach, and I'm just the one trying to see like, hey, what's up? You good? Like, what you doing? Are you good? Like, can I see you? Can I feel you? Can you respond? But basically, we walking out the doctor and Lakin like, yeah, little man, I told your mom, leave you alone. I told your mom that you good. I'm like, it's me versus everybody at this point. But I was just like, hey, as long as I know that he is Gucci, then I'm Gucci, okay? So that is the story of what happened to me yesterday, because I was kind of shook. when she said, oh, I'm sending you for an ultrasound anyway, I'm like, damn, if she gonna make me go get an ultrasound, then she must be concerned about it. Which, I mean, it is a concern, but like she said, it's pretty common for the most part. A baby will move more one day and then move less the next day. Like, it's not really a big deal type of thing. So yeah, that's what happened when we had to go get a freaking ultrasound, because I wasn't supposed to get no damn ultrasound. I just got an ultrasound like 2 weeks ago. But I got to see my baby, even though he had his little back turn with his little spine in the camera.